No, I'll never follow your lead.
Yeah, you're always going to follow my lead because we're
No.
co-hosts. I don't make any decisions, and you don't make any decisions other
We're
than
not.
that. You got like some real succulent, like Fabio wet hair going on this lovely episode of Pex Pals that we're back for, Calvin.
Pex Pals is back, surprisingly.
We're back, dude.
And no one thought that this would happen. Everyone thought that the last episode was the last episode in perpetuity. Never mind, Joe. Welcome back to
Are you trying to big brain me right now, dude?
to another episode of Pex Pals, the only Apex Legends podcast for the mediocre gamer. My name is Alganyo Manyo. My little cute baby boy over here is Joe Cupcake. Check us out on all our social media platforms at Pex Pals Podcast. Feel free to email us at pexpalspodcast@gmail.com. Check out our website, pexpals.com, where you can watch this video and you can listen to it on a couple of the little streaming platforms.
That's their podcasting platform, dude.
This episode is brought to you by viewers like you. So,
damn, you really went off there, bro.
This episode is going to be a little fun one because today, just today, game updated and Shadow Royale is back, and we'll talk about that when we get to it.
It is,
and also we are I think like a week into ranked, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, and a couple other things that popped up this week. But first and foremost, Joe Cupcake, what is your weapon of the week?
So, ironically enough, I don't actually have a true weapon of the week.
Okay.
If I had to actually choose a technical weapon of the week, it would be the fucking thermite grenade. Because those bitches just been slapping lately. Like, I don't know. Especially the fact that they still haven't fixed the physic of like it'll just go through walls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's annoying.
So like I've just been using them in situations where I'm like, this is probably a bad idea, and then I win. But as saying our segment is about weapons, I'm just gonna have to go with the alternator. Yeah. Just been feeling real good again this week.
The
Volt, I don't know, man. I lost a lot. Like I didn't play too much this week. I played a lot yesterday. And I lost like almost every engagement with the Volt, which is like very strange for me.
Interesting.
Because usually I like put that thing on and I just run straight into a fucking room and murder everybody. I have no fear.
Right.
Like this week, my like no fear, like just pull the trigger, don't stop shooting gun is the L-Star. Somehow.
Love that.
But the alternator is what's hitting the best. So I'm going to go with my weapon of the week being the alternator, which I think, overall, like, we talked about this last season. We're glad it's out of the care package, out of the box, So never a bad choice. It's been floating in my top 5 weapons.
Yeah.
So no real big surprise on mine. What about you? Do you have a shocker weapon of the week for us this week? Ooh,
I do have a shocker.
Pray tell, Calvano, Manyo.
You know what? It's been a long time coming. But it's a fan favorite. It's a fan favorite. The RE45.
The
RE45.
I feel like nobody picks that gun up anymore. So this is a shocker.
They don't, and it's like I just encourage people to start using it because it's such a good gun with the hammer points. It's such a good gun.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always sang its praises, even before hammer points, and now that it has hammer points, dude, it shreds.
Yeah, and I haven't tried it with the laser sight. I keep forgetting you can put the laser sight on.
Oh yeah, dude, it rips, dude.
And it's already one of the best hip fire guns.
It rips. So like, what I've been doing is usually I'll use like a long range gun, like a 30-30 Sentinel. You know me, but I've been really liking shotguns more lately. Specifically the PK, dude. I've been wrecking PK.
Proud of you.
But you fucking chuck them with the PK, switch to the RE45, they're done. Dunzos, and it reloads super fucking fast. It's incredibly accurate. Like you just drop dudes like the 45. Pick up the 45. Staring down the barrel of a 45. Pick it up. It's a good gun. You won't be amiss with it.
Oh my goodness.
Let us know your weapon of the week if you have one. Feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms because we are very active there. Hey, reach out, talk to us, please. We're lonely.
Please. I hate just talking to Calvin.
Same.
So
I hate talking to myself.
But yeah, Calvin, I wanted to touch on something that we in our I don't think brevity is the right term. We in our overlook, we have not talked about this, and I feel like it's a simple solution to probably like the number 2 complaint in the game right now.
Okay.
Obviously, number 3 complaint in the game.
Okay, sure.
Number 1 complaint in the game is obviously Seer or Horizon, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the ranked format. Number 3 is everybody bitching about the ring and the ring closing. We already did an episode on that. Well, you know what? As a caustic main, I always feel very lost on Stormpoint. Now, unless I have a Rampart or a Newcastle with me, it's that's a hard map. It's hard to fight, to push the fights indoors. It's hard to own. Even those tunnels are so wide open, and you can get sniped even though if you think you're holding the tunnel well. You know what I mean? So like, I always have this trouble of like, who do I play? At first, it was Ashe. At first, I've been doing a lot of Vantage this week in ranked, which has been pretty worthwhile. But you know what? I've really settled on something that's not only is she my Stormpoint character now, but I think she is something we never talked about. We have that whole theory, Calvin, that goes on this show. We go on and on and on about it, about how they do changes in the game to make us play the legends that we don't play enough, right?
Right.
Very simple solution to the ring, dude. Play Lifeline.
Lifeline.
You land at the edge of the map. You work your way through. Even if you're battling with the ring, the second you get in the zone, boom, you have the drone. It lasts longer. It heals infinitely. You can actually put it in a car, which most people still forget about. Right. You can put it on the Trident, and it'll heal your team while you're driving. True. I don't know if it despawns in the ring though on a car. I'm not sure how that works.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna have to test that out. But like, I've been picking Lifeline a lot more, and a lot of people every game. Hey man, that Lifeline was a solid pick, dude.
Right.
Like the heals really helped on a big map like this, and I'm like, interesting that people will freak out if you pick Lifeline on any other map, but the second you're on Stormpoint, they're like, "Oh, it's a good idea."
Stormpoint's too big.
Oh, I mean, I agree.
It's too big.
The new map is supposedly bigger.
Which one?
The one that's not out yet.
Oh, the new one.
But there's more, like you have that rail system. There's more mountains, like that. Like the zones are more secluded from each other.
Yeah, no, I get you. I will say this though. I will say that your list of complaints is erroneous because the number 1 complaint in Apex Legends right now is the audio, because the audio is fucked.
Oh, well, I don't. Just like we don't list the R301 as a weapon of the week. Like it's like if you want to play.
It's
like
known.
Apex would potentially be the number 1 like game in the world if they fix the audio.
They fix the.
I mean, you have people that are made like that are literal millionaires playing Call of Duty that have switched over and said like Apex is the best shooter. Period.
Hands down. Yeah.
But biggest skill gap. But yeah. I mean, oh fuck, dude. It's like that's why I hate Horizon. I'm back on the delete Horizon from the game train because there's no audio cue on her grav lift at all.
There's no sound. There's no sounds anywhere for anybody, dude. Sure the fucking man.
And it's like that fucking Apex is a horror game thing. Is like it's every day, and it's a Horizon, and whoever the hell is fucking holding her hands in the sky.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they're landing on you.
Yep. It's really fucking annoying. But anyway, yeah. So what Joel just reference to was Stormpoint. If you don't play ranked, the map rotation from last week's rank split is switched the ranked map to Stormpoint. So good luck out there. It's a huge fucking map. Oftentimes we land in it at a spot that I think is going to get some traffic, and then we go the whole game without seeing anybody. So good luck out there. But first and foremost, today is October 4th, and today the game is updated to now include Shadow Royale. The Loba Heirloom event is gone, I think.
Yeah, it's over. Good luck to those of you. Good luck. Hopefully that some of you got it.
So hopefully some of you got it. It came and left fast. I felt like it was a really short event. I mean, there was nothing to it besides just the Loba Heirloom. But it came and left. And now Shadow Royale is back. Shadow Royale is, if you don't know, Shadow Royale is the Apex Legends annual Halloween event. It was used to be something different, but then now Shadow Royale came back. And what Shadow Royale is, it's the regular BR mode. It's on Olympus, man, Olympus at night. Sexy Olympus.
By the way, Olympus After Dark, not to cut you off, Calvin, I think this is the prettiest thing they've done ever.
It's dope.
When they
It
did
looks
King's
great.
Canyon After Dark, it was still like early on in the game.
Sure.
This one After Dark, like I just did a few rounds before you got on, like leave that map in the game permanently, please.
It's great.
Fuck, dude.
It's great. So it's on Olympus. It's nighttime, super sexy. The point the point of the game is to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But if your teammate gets knocked down and full killed, they come back as a revenant spawn. Right? You know how revenant spawns come out? They look all they're blacked out and they have like
Yeah. Oh
red
yeah, when
electricity.
you're in the death totem, yes.
Yeah, death totem. Yeah, revenant's death totem. You get the death totem, you get blacked out, and you get like red electricity all over you, whatever the fuck. Your teammate looks like that, but they perform as if they are in a Titanfall game. They're fast. They when wall run. They're just everywhere. They zip zap absorb everywhere.
You can double jump. Your melee's hella buffed.
Double jump, and your melee is buffed to do 50 damage a hit. And so that's huge. And your teammates will keep respawning like that as long as someone on the team is still alive. You lose the game if all teammates die.
Yeah. Now there's a caveat with the respawning. Every time you die, it takes a little bit longer for you to respawn as a shadow.
Correct.
So there's that. So it's not OP. They actually added something like when you click on the about, Calvin. You know, they added that feature to the new modes, the new LTMs or whatever. So they added something. I don't remember this being here last time. I didn't play a lot of the last shadow. I don't remember why. I just didn't. The shadows can now res down teammates.
Yes, that is a new thing.
So if you have two shadows and one live person, and the shadows kill the other two before they or kill the team before they thirst the third, you can actually res the third and stay in the game. That's new, right? I'm not crazy.
That is new.
I think that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I think that is awesome.
That's pretty cool because it used to be that if you had two shadows on your team and you were still up and then you get knocked, everyone dies.
Yeah.
But now your teammates your shadows can come in, kill that team who you were just fighting and res you, and keep your team in the game, which is really fucking cool. Shadow Royale is a really fun game mode. Hopefully it's not bugged, because not the last time, but the time before that, people were getting 20 bombs and 4K damages in Shadow Royale, getting the badges for it. So hopefully it's not bugged, but fingers crossed. So yeah, go play Shadow Royale. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm actually excited that this event going on right now, Calvin. It's called the Fight or Fright event. You know what I mean? And and I think they're actually listening to the player base finally, this new wave of devs.
Well, I just want to say something before we move on. I want to say something. This is a pro tip. This is a pro tip for Shadow Royale.
Pro tip coming in hot.
If you have a team, if your team, you're all up and you're fighting an enemy team who's all up and you get a knock, do not full kill. Do not full kill. Let them crawl around on the ground, right? Because if you full kill them, they're going to come back as a shadow.
In like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and it's going to make it much harder for you to finish that fight if you have a shadow rushing you with no fear, wall jumping, double jumping, and all that shit. So if you get a knock, leave them alone and try to knock the other two, right? And don't let them res. That's my pro tip for Shadow Royale.
And I wasn't even going to swerve away from Shadow Royale, Calvin. So this is the first week of the Fight or Fright event. There's some cool spoopy, if you want to use that word, or spooky skins. And the reason I was starting my last sentence with they're listening to the player base, everybody hates ranked on Stormpoint. You know what I mean? We just had to deal with ranked on King's Canyon, which seems about a 50-50 split on who hates it or not. This this Fight or Fright event is actually 4 weeks long instead of 2.
Love that.
The Halloween event is usually 2, and it's only 1 week of Shadow Royale usually.
Yes.
Right now, first week Shadow Royale, second week Control, third week Gun Game is back, and then fourth week is Shadow Royale again on Olympus After Dark. I think this is, the devs doing that stream a couple weeks ago, or that Ask the AMA on Reddit, whatever it was, saying we're paying attention, we hear you, you want LTMs, you like LTMs. If this is their plan going forwards, this is like a real fucking step where like you don't have to feel obligated to play ranked, let alone even the BR the whole time. The
Right.
last 3 days, I've barely wanted to play the BR. I've just been playing gun games still until it went away.
Love
It's
that.
just so fun, you know? So I think this is fucking God, I love it. I love it. Calvin,
Good.
I love that you just threw out a pro tip. I was gonna say let's talk about Shadow Royale for a few minutes. Like, what are some characters or some strats that we can recommend? You know,
Mhm.
I'm obviously as a caustic main, I think this mode is key. I
Mhm.
love it. The shadows are so fast, it doesn't matter if you're Octane or not.
Yeah.
So like I think sticking with like the caustics, like if you ran like caustic Watson, and then you had a pretty specific, easy way to get into your building, and
Mhm.
you run a caustic and you leave the drone positioned above the building, like you can last a long fucking time that way.
Mhm.
You know,
Sure.
keep in mind, like you want to play Legends where like your Wraith form or Shadow form or whatever you want to call it can play off your strength. So
Yeah.
I think Caustic's great. Something interesting I noticed earlier, it put me in a game by myself. I had a Shadow pet, right? The
Yes.
Shadow pet, when it got close, it set off my mines. So I
Mm.
wonder if your new Shadow companions will set off your Caustic mines.
I don't know.
They didn't take any damage, but it sets them off,
Right.
which makes it harder for you to be all campy. You know what I
Sure.
mean? What about you, Calvin? Who are some of your favorite people you like to use in the Shadow Royale mode?
So like you said, good bunker down characters are important. Caustic, Watson, and then maybe someone to help you you know, tighten it up a bit. You know, whomever that maybe Newcastle, because Newcastle's wall has a little electricity on it for the first like 30 seconds or so.
Yeah,
Just to prevent people from pushing you. Because those shadows are gonna come into the building. They don't
yeah.
give a shit.
Actually, I like that Newcastle's just because the mobile res is
Mhm.
probably extremely useful.
Oh, absolutely. And I was gonna say, a good res character, like Newcastle, Lifeline Gibby, Mirage, a good res character that can even, either do like a quick res, quick, hidden res, like would be huge, especially if I said, people are applying the pro tip that I just gave about not full thirsting, because people who are gonna want to win are gonna be doing those pro tips. People are going to be doing
Yeah,
the don't thirst pro tip. Um, and so if you have someone like Lifeline, like any of the special resers
yeah,
to come in and just pick you up immediately, you know what I mean? That could be beneficial
yeah,
for you. So nice bunker down characters. Movement characters are huge too. I mean, obviously don't stick to one team,
yeah,
what I'm trying to say, team comp
yeah,
composition. Movement characters are huge to get away from the fights, to get away
yeah,
from the shadow area because they're fast and they're coming for you. So any of the movement characters are good.
yeah.
I would say your best bet and weapon choice is to avoid like sniper rifles, like any of them,
Oh yeah,
simply because they have so if you notice, the 410 digital threat sniper scope is now available as ground loop, and digital threat one-time scopes
I didn't
are
notice
all
that.
over the map. You find them in pills in Shadow Royale.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So digital threats are everywhere, and it helps if you're like at far away and you see a team fighting and you see, you can pick off people a lot easier. But the sniper rifles are so goddamn slow to shoot that unless you hit that lucky shot, you're gonna take like at least two solid hits from a shadow if it's in
Yeah,
your face. And if you have a group of them, it sucks. But with that being said, they have also increased the hammer point RNG, so hammer
oof,
points are everywhere. P2020, R45, Mozambiques are gonna be your best friends in those situations. Shotguns are gonna be really good in
oh yeah,
situations. Submachine guns are gonna be good in situations. So you wanna play kinda like a good bunker down, close quarters type of fight.
hmm
Obviously the ARs are great guns. They're great guns, but those SMGs, those sidearms with the hammer points are probably gonna be your best friends.
yeah. Honestly, so shameless self promotion here, Calvin. If you go back to one of the first year episodes of the show, we have a whole episode where we talk mostly about the beak, if I remember correctly. We
Mhm.
talk about the beak multiple times, but we have like a beak centric episode, if I remember correctly. When Rev was a problem, a lot of people don't realize if you are running the beak, even without the hammer points, the beak is one of the easiest guns to send people back in shadow form with, especially if you land one of the headies.
Absolutely.
Because the rate of fire is greater than the PK.
Mhm.
Like Calvin and I, that's one of the reasons I think we both kind of fell in love with the beak is when the rev meta was just. I mean, I think that was top 3 worst metas we had to deal with, if I'm being honest. Being able to just pull out the beak and it's like ding, 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 and 2 people are already sent back.
Yeah.
Like that's not bad. That's not bad.
Absolutely. So yeah, choose your hammer point weapon, to your preference. Bunker down. Don't full kill. And you'll have a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, you took everything right out of my mouth, dude. And like I love I love the Newcastle suggestion too, because he can full block the doors. Yes, the shadows can break his wall down, but he gets his wall fucking quick.
Yeah.
You can move while you res. I don't know if they fix the whole like if you try to slide while resing down a hill, he moves faster.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if they fixed.
They may have fixed that already.
They may have. Who knows? That was a nice little that was honestly one of the most hilarious glitches they've had in the game.
It was really
You're just
funny.
watching this like huge fat dude crouch resing somebody, and all of a sudden he's like, wee!
Yeah.
Just like flying off the cliff like hella fast. I did love that. Cal, I love this. I love Shadow Royale. It's my 3rd favorite mode, as we've talked about last week. I love it being back twice. As I already praised Olympus After Dark, I love it. I love a 4-week event, more chance to get skins and shit like that. I love that as well, with paydays and whatnot for people, IRL, as they say. I love that. But also, like Shadow Royale controlled gun game and Shadow Royale, the content is going to be bonkers right now.
Absolutely.
They just announced some of the ALGS stuff, like some of the schedules. There's I'll get a little bit more into that in a second, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming from Apex. Some of the devs are being a little bit more open with stuff. We're getting new devs turning over. We know we have a new map coming. Like it's an exciting time to be a little bit reinvigorated, and A, the content that can be made to bring eyes to the game, but B, the fact that we don't have to play ranked Stormfront for 4 fucking weeks and still have something to do is like, thank you, Respawn.
Right.
I know one of you listens to the show. We don't know who it is. I don't care. I don't care who you are, what your role is, what your gender or creed is. I fucking love you.
Yeah. No, awesome. I'm stoked too, man. Like, and what's funny is, side note, because we talk about it all the time, Overwatch 2 also launches today.
It does.
And so, but not to get too into it, when Overwatch 2 got right before it was released, a lot of people were there, did a lot of interviews and stuff like that, and the developers of Overwatch 2 were saying that they wanted to make the game something that people can just play all the time, to make it their standard go-to game. And so they talked about PvEs and having more fun game modes and stuff like that. And there's games out there like all the MMOs, but most notably like shooter games like Destiny. Destiny's an old ass game, right? And people still play it to this day. And they do the raids and they do all the stuff like that, right? And I think what the mainstream BRs, like the PUBGs and the Fortnites and Call of Duty and Apex now, but I think what makes Fortnite a little bit different than the other 3 is that Fortnite is good about putting in little weird shit into the game so it stays interesting, right? And kids don't care that that they're not participating in high level Fortnite gameplay. They just want to go in and do stupid shit, right? And so the fact that the Apex devs are now, giving us more limited time modes and hopefully more events and just more things to do outside of being in sweaty ass BRs. And I think it's a step in the right direction. I think hopefully it continues this way, and Apex becomes a game where it's like you can just get on and play, and you don't have to worry about PvP. You can just play something,
Well, I think there's a game that doesn't get talked about a lot called Sea of Thieves, which has PvP elements, but like that's a game you just get on and play, and you're just a fucking pirate, dude.
Yeah.
It's simple. It launched real strong. It still has a pretty loyal community. One thing I loved, I played that game for a couple months. The devs actually gave you an update every month. They sat down and they did like a 20-minute video every month. This is what is coming. We heard the complaint about this, like, and because that, which is crazy, because that game is made by by a company everybody forgot about, Rare. The company that did like Crash Bandicoot and all those games we grew up playing.
Yeah,
they're behind that game. Donkey Kong, they're behind that. And I thought that was a wonderful, like, I was like, why isn't there more stuff like this? You know, Division's too convoluted. Destiny's just too much to do, you know, at least for me, for a part-time gamer, you know what I mean? And so I'm with it. I think Overwatch, you know, maybe they'll pull that off. You know, hopefully they get rid of that fucking dickhead CEO eventually, you know, and then I won't feel bad about talking about the game. There's also Ubisoft just pushed the game back to next year, but they are having a open world pirate like BR coming out, or I don't know if it's a BR. I think it's like a mix between a BR and an MMO. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I need to look into it a little bit more, but like that sounds like one of those things where it's like this could be cool too. So I'm with it. But these modes give the casuals something a little different to do.
Yeah, and you know it's fun to play the game that you're used to in a different way. Right? Which is why, you know, it's funny. It's funny because that's why you and I play all the different characters. That's why we all use all the different weapons, because it's fun to play the game that you like playing in a different way. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to use the Wingman R301 every fucking game with Wraith and Octane and fucking Path and you know, Horizon every single game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So. You want to know what's funny, Calvin? Now that you bring up the Wingman, I'm not gonna lie. You know how we always talk about how it makes no sense for the fucking, like, neither of us like to use the Bruiser on the Wingman. I was playing ranked last night with Colton, and that dude puts a fucking Bruiser on his fucking Wingman and just shits all over everybody.
I love that.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Love
it. I'm like, wait, you did what?
Yeah.
You're what? Huh?
Yeah.
You know,
I've always thought the 4.8 should go on the Wingman.
Oh my god! Or do you remember when they used to let us put the 3 times on SMGs?
On the Prowler, yeah, that shit was nutty.
On the Prowler with the full auto. Just give me the full auto back, please. Respawn, if you're. We know you're listening. Respawn. Just give us, like, next season. Please just give us full auto,
dude. If they did, I
don't care if you delete it. I don't care if you control delete it from the game files after that. And as long as Apex lists, we never get it back again. If we can just get it back for one more season, fuck, dude.
Dude, that would break the game. The Prowler would be too strong. But anyways, what else you got for me, Jeff?
When are they gonna fucking vault the charge rifle, man? I'm getting sick of it, dude.
Everyone's getting sick of the charge rifle,
right?
It's funny it's not even like it's one of those guns that like changes the game. It's just really fucking annoying. And you know, like there's a reason why a lot of people get stuck on the charge rifle and gun run, because it's kind of hard to kill somebody with the charge rifle, especially if they're like moving around and stuff like that.
Actually,
go
ahead.
No, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I mean, you know what? If one thing everybody should be better at after gun run is hip firing the charge rifle.
That's true.
If you can't get better with those hip fire charge rifle shots after gun run, like you didn't play enough gun run, because like that's what I would do. I would just get the hip fire, the full burst, and then the melee, and that's it. They're sending them packing, you know?
Yeah. No. And so like I was saying, like it's just one of those guns that it's not like you could say I'm really good with the charge rifle. Everybody is. But it's just so goddamn annoying that I don't think they'd ever remove it from the game, because it does a lot, but it doesn't do a lot, right? At least with like the Sentinel, you can knock someone with one headshot, right?
True.
Even late game, right? Depending on like.
True. Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. So it's funny. I think it's funny.
I mean, fucking. So what do we think, Calvin? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Should the charge rifle go in the box?
No.
I think it should.
I don't think it should.
I think it to make it fair, just because it's like it's one of the things that hasn't gone in yet.
Okay.
But also, I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? Just that's it. You know.
Here's the thing: is if you wanted to put the charge rifle in the box, it needs to be made better. It needs to be able to drop someone
Fair.
with a full blast. It needs either that, it needs a magazine, or it needs a barrel. You know, like it needs something else. I mean, a barrel won't do anything to it.
True.
It's not like that would do anything. A magazine would increase if they put a magazine on it. Then maybe put it in the box, because
Yeah.
right now, like the 4 shots you get with it, you know, unless you get someone who's standing perfectly still and doesn't, you know, and is being fucking weird, you're not gonna down them. Or unless they're like running out in the open, you're not gonna down them. You know,
True.
you get bam, you're like, oh fuck, charge rifle. Unless you're like an asshole who's like, I got hit with the charge rifle, I better keep shooting at him. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. You're not gonna win. Stop.
Hey man, I'm sitting right here, dude. I'm sitting right here.
I'm
Okay?
just saying. I seem to have. I just seem to have a high volume of friends who love getting shot. I just seem to have a high volume of friends who just like, you know what? I'm gonna take some more shots. I don't get it.
I love it. I love
But
it.
it would need something else to make it better than it is right now in order for me to agree that it should go on the box. I think it's fine on the ground. It's
Okay.
It's a pick up and play gun. It's terrible close range. So
Yeah.
like, you know, yeah. That's my thoughts on the charge
Word.
rifle.
Word. All right, I got two things left for us to talk about, Calvin.
What's that?
First is, now that it's come and gone, Loba Heirloom.
Mhm.
Is it hot or is it not?
It's hot.
It's hot.
dope.
It's hot. It's
It's
not
dope
the
as fuck.
staff. It's not the staff,
Not the staff.
but it's fucking dope.
It's dope as fuck, man. And you know what? That just makes me sad because because like if you look at Pathfinder's gloves, they're just some stupid ass gloves, right? Lifeline has some stupid ass drumsticks, and Wraith has a stupid ass kunai. What?
I've been using the shock sticks lately, and like there's little charms on the end. Like they're actually a little sicker than I originally thought they were.
But they're not as fully animated as the most recent heirlooms
True.
are. They're not. That's just look at them, you know?
Yeah.
And so it makes me hopeful for the rest of the cast to get really good heirlooms as they should. So.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure Horizon, Seer, and Fuses are going to be.
I can't wait to see
insane.
Fuses. I can't wait to see Fuses. I can't wait to see Fuses or Maggies. Like, I think they're going to be really cool.
I'm hoping one of them it's almost like they rip off Mirage, and it's just like the big golden grenade, and they just club you with it. You know what I mean?
You know, I think that'd be too simple. It'd have to be something bigger than that. Like, I think
there's the big rumor that Maggie's is going to be Fuse's arm.
Fuse's arm, yeah.
Or like you know how there's like in the animation, there's like the rare, like Maggie's rare animation is she's just going to smack you with Fuse's arm, which I think would be fucking hilarious.
I think Fuses should either be like a guitar, which would be really funny.
Oh, just like straight up WWF style, just
or like, and like the rare would be like hit you with a beer can or some shit.
Oh
like,
my
that'd
God.
be hilarious.
What if his heirloom was just a fucking beer bottle, dude?
Dude, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
He just swings.
And like the inspect animation, he just fucking downs it.
Oh my God.
Just chugs it, dude.
Oh my, that'd be fucking good. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, it makes me hopeful for the rest of the cast to get really good looking.
I agree.
Heirlooms. So
I agree. Last thing I want to talk about, like I said, like I kind of alluded to earlier, as far as like eyes on the product is good for all of us. You know, more and more people start playing the game. Eventually, they're gonna have to like try to fix the audio, even though they keep saying we can't. Like eventually, someone's gonna be like, "Yo, are you serious?" Like,
right.
You know, and my next point brings us to that. There were some leaks last week of stuff coming to the game. All of the big orgs are getting a character skin and a weapon skin.
Oh, they're pulling Overwatch.
But it's only it's 1-1. Does that make sense? So like instead of getting a skin that you can apply to any legend, like that skin goes on that legend and that's it. So like, you know, does that make sense? So like the TSM skin is just going to be Octane and whatever gun. I think it's like, Yeah, I don't know why they did it that way. I mean, I guess it would take too long to digitize the files for it to be on everyone.
No, because they do it all the time. Like
I'm
each
not
character,
arguing with you.
each character has like fucking 20 white skins and blue skins. So
Yeah.
like,
I don't know. But
because they're not going to make new skins, right? They're just going to take old skins and recolor them.
yeah.
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 So that's
But
just like fucking Overwatch.
yeah. So the interesting thing about this is, my first thought is like, okay, so who's going to get the bragging rights? Who are they giving the R301 to? Right? R301, and this is the last thing I want to talk about today. I know you hate talking about the pros, and I'm sorry, but for an exposure purpose, I think it's important that we talk about this.
Whatever.
The fucking R301 is FaZe Clan. Now I know a lot of people are sitting here going, well, FaZe doesn't have an Apex team. But the rumor mill is the swirling, and Snipe Down is coming back, not rejoining his old teammates at TSM, and he's starting a FaZe team.
Interesting.
Now, FaZe easily is one of the top 5 biggest orgs in the world for esports.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
Even if they're not the biggest as far as like winnings or trophies.
They're known.
Well, I mean, dude, fucking Snoop Dogg is part of it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So they're known. So I think FaZe coming into ALGS, more eyes on the product, more eyes on the tourneys. Hopefully this means more eyes fixing the problems as well. Maybe. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of bullshit with like how they've addressed, ALGS and the COVID protocols and the travel protocols and only paying for the top 10 teams and the bottom 10 teams. They pretty much just told to go fuck themselves, even though it's a $5 million prize pool. Like there's a lot of weird shit going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so hopefully this fixes it. Also, like I said, more FaZe joining will bring the other orgs that have been kind of hanging in the wings, not really pushing through the Apex circuit to push through it. And then hopefully, ALGS will become the spectacle that LCS is, for Valorant and whatever the I cannot remember what it is for. Oh no, LCS is League of Legends, and then there's the one for Valorant, and then I don't pay attention to the other games, so I don't know the outcomes. I'm not gonna fucking try. But I think this is good for the game. I think it's healthy for the game. I mean, fucking sometimes you log into Twitch to see who's watching Apex, how many people are watching, and literally half the people are just watching Nick Merckx play that game. And Nick is part of FaZe. So again, I just think it's all a positive thing going forward.
Sure. Yeah.
So hopefully we got some changes out of it.
There is as much as I hate talking about the pros, there is a good positive for endorsing them and listening to them and bringing them on board, because they do have the reach to a large population of gamers, and a lot of not just a large population of gamers, but a large population of gamers who are willing to throw money at the game. I think that's the most important thing. Right? There's a lot of casual people who just get on and play and have fun, and they don't watch streamers, right?
Correct.
But if you're on Twitch and you're like watching Nick Merckx, you're subbed to Nick Merckx. You're buying Nick Merckx products. You're buying fucking whomever fucking merchandise shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if Nick Merckx is like, oh, this is my skin, people go. It's weird, but people go like, I got the Nick Merckx skin. It's fucking weird. But people do it, and so it is a good business idea to work with the pros. So I can't knock the influence that pros have.
I just thought that was interesting. That's pretty much all I had, Cal. We had a nice easy episode today. Listeners, thanks everybody. Just keep following the show. Again, please subscribe on YouTube and please leave us reviews. Those are the two things that help the most with the show. Please do that.
One's the easiest one to do. If you subscribe to YouTube, it's free. Subscribe to it. Get us over the 100 threshold so we can get our fancy URL,
which is hilarious.
Which is really funny. But it's the easiest one to do. Like I said, you can even start watching the videos there. I make funny faces. Joel's adorable. So it's like one of those two things could happen for you.
Seriously.
Yeah, but yeah, check us out on YouTube, please. Check us out on all our social media
Oh,
platforms at Pex Pals Podcast. We post most of our content on Instagram. Check us out there. We're most active there. Check us out on Twitter. We're there too. We also have a Facebook. Nothing really happens there. And TikTok, it's like absent, but we're there. Check us out. Joe Cupcake. How's rank going for you? Last thing.
I got back to gold already. It was
Nice.
nice, but just dumbass teammates over
It's
and
hard.
over. You know what
It's
I
hard.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you always have, and you know the one thing I hate about, I think this is what I hate about Stormpoint the most, Cal, when it
Mm.
comes to ranked, is the idiots that only choose Octane and don't stick with the team.
Mhm.
They're the most prevalent on Stormpoint because of how big the map is.
Yeah.
And it's like every fucking game, it's an Octane who's not with us,
Yep.
or you know, we die, he doesn't show up till the end and then tells us we suck
Oh yeah.
when he cleans everything up, or he's on his own, gets aped, and then tries to cuss all of us out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So other than that, it's great. Stormpoint from a ranked perspective has actually grown on me.
Okay.
I actually really do enjoy it. I think the audio cue of the armories needs to change. I still think that's like they put all this work into adding this feature, and it's like, bro, you hear that shit from like across the map,
True.
dude. Like, and it's like, so like we did one the other night where like we landed at the armory up by a lightning rod.
Mhm.
The closest team was command center,
Mhm.
and they knew to come push us.
That's funny.
Like, because they probably went out the back door where the spiders were and heard the shooting that far away.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, so it's like, God damn it, dude. But other than that, you know, I got back to gold pretty quick actually, so
Mhm.
I'm happy with that. I'm gonna keep doing it like on and off, like try to get to plat. Like I like being a consistent plat player, but
Mhm.
it's just, you know, once I got in my groove, like I did Vantage for the first couple days. Now that I've been playing Lifeline, that's where my comfortability level's at. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the Lifeline and just keep slamming it out. What about you? How's rank going for you?
It's going great. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.